Hmm.
Yes, there are many great halibut fishing stories around Vancouver Island. Here's one that comes to mind. My name is Sandy Wallace. Fish Army Canada has commissioned me to be your guide on this journey of short stories and relevant information from the pros who fish all around Vancouver Island. I'll start today's episode of Fish Army Canada's series on halibut fishing by revisiting a short story that was recently sent in by one of our group members. His exciting fishing excursion happened a few years ago, but it's interesting nonetheless. But just before we get started, Fish Army Canada would like to thank all of its group contributors and fundraising partners and sponsors for helping to make it possible to raise funds for local Vancouver Island community volunteer salmon hatcheries and other non-profit fishing initiatives. Without you all, it would be almost impossible to succeed at helping to build salmon abundance around our little piece of paradise over here on the wild west coast of British Columbia. Thank you all so very, very much. Now let's get going. Yes, I know you'll like this. A few years ago, a group of friends chartered a fishing trip in the waters off the west coast of Vancouver Island, hoping to catch some big Pacific halibut. They were led by an experienced local guide who knew the area well. The day started off slowly, with only a few small catches. But as the tide began to change, things started to pick up. Suddenly, one of the lines went taut with a powerful tug. It was clear that something big was on the end of the line. The angler was experienced and knew how to handle such a strong fish. He carefully worked the line, reeling it in slowly and steadily. After a few minutes of struggle, the halibut finally came into view. To their amazement, it was a massive 300-pound fish. Rare! The angler and the rest of the group were ecstatic. It took all of them to haul the giant halibut onto the boat, where they took some photos and celebrated their catch. They knew it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and they savored every moment of it. Please note that it is not recommended to bring any fish on board that is meant to be released. Try to keep it in the water, so as to help it have the best chance of survival after releasing. So after the fishing party released the halibut back into the water, the group continued their fishing trip, catching a variety of other fish including salmon, lingcod and rockfish. But the memory of the giant halibut catch remained the highlight of the trip. It was an unforgettable day that they would always treasure. Yeah! What a great experience, imagine. I bet he is still smiling ear to ear each and every time he thinks about that fishing memory. Here are a few tips to get your motor running. Halibut fishing near Vancouver Island can be challenging. Wink! As these fish are known for being quite picky with their choice of bait. However, there are a few tried-and-true lures that are known to be effective. Here are some of the best lures used to catch halibut in the waters around Vancouver Island. 1. Heavy jigs. Heavy jigs with a weight of 8 to 16 ounces work well in catching halibut. These lures should be bounced off the bottom with a quick lift and drop motion. 2. Butterfly jigs. Butterfly jigs are another popular type of lure that can generate bites from halibut. These are long, skinny jigs with a fluttering action that is hard for halibut to resist. 3. Octopus and baitfish soft bait lures. Soft plastic lures in the shape of an octopus are very effective in catching halibut. They work best when fished slowly, with the occasional twitch to make the tentacles move. 4. Scampi tails. Scampi tails are soft plastic lures that resemble shrimp or prawns. They have a realistic wiggling action that can be irresistible to halibut. 5. Large swim baits. Large swim baits or swim jigs can also be effective in catching halibut. These lures should be retrieved slowly, with the occasional pause to imitate a bait fish. 6. Natural bait. Natural baits like herring, octopus, squid, mackerel, sardine, salmon bellies, or other parts like salmon heads or collars work very well when attached to a spreader bar rig with a pound to 2 pound ball, or cylinder sinker weight. Keep in mind that the key to successful halibut fishing is to match the size and color of your lure to the specific conditions and target species. It's always a good idea to talk to local experts, such as fishing guides or tackle shops, to get up-to-date information on what baits and lures are working well in the local waters. Watch for episode 2 of Fish Army Canada's series on halibut fishing, where I bring you more great tips and tricks and relevant information from the pros. I'll see you soon. Tips up and tight lines.